Well, let's hope. Happy retrograde, everybody. Um, Sandra will be with us very shortly. There
There.
she is.
Okay.
We started without her.
Oh, no, I'm here. I'm here.
All good. It's not all good because the retrograde is biting. It's the big one. This is the big one, Lizzie. I'm coming. I'm coming. This is the big one, Lizzie.
You can't make this up. This is so weird. And
Really can't.
hey, and I think I need to let people know the connection we had before had gotten so bad with Verizon that somebody sent us a Starlink. Okay. We're in the middle of we just got Starlink hooked up on Saturday, and this is what we're getting. It's like, oh my God, we're supposed to go live on Sunday for our first radio show, and it's in the middle of retrograde.
Um, this retrograde's bringing very interesting things. Um,
It's
y'all,
hitting hard.
y'all, y'all listen. It's been a real dick. A real dick.
High five.
It's been a real dick. Um, yeah, so this retrograde seems to be really bringing up your deepest fears and not only bringing them up, putting them right in front of you.
Oh no, you're not going to be able to turn your head to it. No.
Um, Lee, y'all might be under this illusion that my husband doesn't get triggered. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a lie because he does. Sandra is frozen again. She's frozen because this is what this retrograde is bringing. Lee and I have been, Sandra and Alan have been going through it as well. Clearly, clearly. Every little annoyance that can possibly be. We lost electric to one room in our house. One room. One.
We
Oh,
flooded.
the littlest room. And y'all's trailer flooded.
Right.
Um, I think we probably just leave the phone on 24 hours because we've been calling each other like we've been texting like freaking wild animals. Because it's going down. There she goes. There she goes. I'm telling you, y'all. I'm telling you. It's been like this for a few days, a week. Been like this a week or so. Um, and she's froze again. When we were talking before I hit record, Sandra was like, "I let's just go for it, right? Because they probably need to see the problems that we're having, and this technical difficulty is very much a part of it."
Happening.
There
Um,
she is again. She's back. Oh, minute. Oh, minute. Oh. Oh.
the only way to calm it down is to
Oh. It's to the point where when something happens, I'm giggling
Me too. What are you gonna do? Cry?
because there's absolutely nothing I can do. And when I say this retrograde's bringing up your deepest, darkest fears, not lying. Check this out. My son is 16. He's 16. He's on the hockey team. He's a good kid. My son has spiritual gifts. And at 16, that's not real cool. It was when I was 16 because I made a party out of it. And then
Right.
Spirit was like, yeah, no. Um, this isn't what happens. So today my son walks through the door 45 minutes before school even lets out. And I'm looking at the door and he's like, Mom. I'm like, what, buddy? He sat down on the couch and he said, I knew something was happening. I felt it. I knew, I heard it. I heard the fire alarm. I heard it. I knew it was going to happen. So I told my buddy, the fire alarm's about to go off. Of
Oh
course,
no.
my buddy was like, right. 5 minutes later, the fire alarm goes off and they're evacuating the school. And they realized that it's a pipe that had, sprinkler pipe that had burst. So it was dispersing water all over the school. So they did something and then they let the students back in to get their belongings. And then everybody had to go home. So he caught a ride home with his friend. And before the buses got there, and he said, when we got in the car, he looked over at me and he said, "How did you know that?"
Mhm.
And he said, "Mom, I was stuck. I didn't know what to say." And I said, "Well, buddy, what did you say?" And he said, "Well, I just said, I don't know. Maybe I'm special."
Good answer.
Well, I was like, that was great, right? And so I really started talking to him about his spiritual gifts and being an empath and and things like that. And he said that my biggest fear, he said, I just feared everybody finding out that I had spiritual gifts. That was my fear, Mom. And it just came today.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, buddy, right? Um, you and I have been talking and my fears have been slapping me right in the face, right? As is yours. Like it's a difficult little retrograde happening. And we've got two planets in retrograde and you're froze again. We're just having a conversation with Sandra. Um, we really want to talk about this retrograde. We really want to help you through it. We're getting through it. Um, seriously, Lee and I have we've we've been having a lot of um oh, and she's gone. A lot of I want to call intense fellowship. Real intense fellowship. And I knew something was coming. I knew it. I felt it. This shift. It's a shift. It's a big shift from thought to feeling. And I'm going through that. And Sandra and Alan are going through that. Sandra and Alan with this new Starlink thing they've got have really been in and out and in and out. And the interesting thing is they've got a new radio show to record. And
Right.
it seems to me that every time we're trying to get a message out there, something happens. And all the more reason to have to get the message out there. When well, you know what I mean? When the universe is acting up,
Right.
then we have to stay steady. But it's real hard for us to stay steady when we're facing our fears right in front of us.
Not any fear, but the core fear.
A core fear, right? Not the what Lee calls the symptoms, the fear symptoms.
Right. These aren't the symptoms. These
Right.
are the
This is real labor, guys. We are not having Braxton Hicks. We are in real labor.
right.
We are about to give birth. And that's exactly what it feels like.
If you
Exactly what it feels
if
like.
you pay attention and hopefully I don't get cut off saying this, if you pay attention to what your normal thing would be, guys, when it slows down and you're in the calmness, enjoy the calmness because when it kicks up, you do not want to go into panic mode when this starts kicking up. You've got to stay as calm, hold steady, and Sherry and I put a video out about do not lean in because leaning in means you're going to get sucked in
Mhm.
to that when you need to hold steady and realize this is coming up. If you pay attention to your cycles, you will notice that some new gift appears when you get through this stage of it.
Mhm.
And so leaning into it, yeah, everybody's like, I just learned what you meant by leaning into it. Now you're telling me not to. Okay, there was a time for that. This not something we're taking to a higher frequency. This is stuff we are annihilating and getting rid of.
Listen, listen. Lee and I are in the truck. Everybody pay attention. This is so important. Lee and I were in the truck and we are driving. And we're actually friends today. Yesterday we weren't friends. We were friends, yeah, most of the day. In the morning we weren't friends. We were not friends. But we got friends again. And because we do that. Because we have the symptoms of the human condition, right?
Right?
And so Lee and I were on our way home and we were listening to things on the radio and Lee really loves, and so do I. We really like to listen to Chris Daltrey a lot, right? He's just got such an amazing voice. I didn't realize that he had put out a new album, and I'm gonna get the name of it for you, but the we listened to like the first song, right? Um, I'm looking for it. Shit. Oh, here it's called The Reckoning. And we were like, what the fuck? And we're listening and he is saying lyrics out of singing lyrics and we're like, and it's talking about your deepest, darkest fears, your demons that are taking over your life, the thought processes that are guiding you and ruling you and controlling you and all that shit. Today is my day of reckoning and I'm done. It is over. That's this song and enough is enough. That's what he says. Enough is enough. Today is my day of reckoning. And me and I looked at each other like, whoa, this song's deep. There goes Sandra again. She's frozen. So the even the song talked about it. Listen to it, guys. You can find it on YouTube anywhere. Chris Daltrey. The Reckoning. Um,
Never mind us. We're over here.
right. Yeah. Coming and going, coming and going. But if you get a chance to listen to it and feel the energy of it and it gave me and Lee like the energy to be like, yeah, yeah.
Not only that, but let's talk about Saturday morning. Saturday morning. Okay. All of this stuff going on, and we got cold weather, and we have to,
Remember how I got a hold of you?
right? And we have to leave the water running. And I sat straight up, but I never wake up that quick. And I'm standing here, and we won't tell you what happened before I got to the bathroom. But uh, anyway, I'm standing there. I'm straight awake, and I
I
go,
know, and I'll sell you the information for 9.99. Go ahead.
you won't.
Damn it. There she goes. Retrograde is killing me. That was not a good time for that to pause. There she is.
Right. My
There
cup
she is.
is overflowing,
Yeah.
and almost simultaneously, I hear the phone ting, and it's Sherry. Okay, why am I hearing our song? And Sherry goes, what? Usually it is me calling Sherry.
Yeah. I called her and I was like, what the hell is happening? Because when I hear that song, boom,
Something's up.
something's up. And Lee and I were driving and we heard a song that, excuse me, we associate with another person that we know. And we was like, wonder what's up with her. And then our song came on and I was like, oh yeah, okay. Let's figure this out. So I called Sandra and she's like, well, it's just flooded. There's just water everywhere. And then the rug, you right? The rug.
The rug. The
The
rug
rug.
arrived with a package from our sponsor, Carrie. Carrie Plank, amazing guys, okay? And she sends this beautiful plushy rug, which you want plush in an RV because the floor is real hard, okay? And I put it on the floor and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And it was so thick and so plush, started over fading. We're back. We're back. Okay.
Happy Mercury retrograde, everybody. Everybody, happy Mercury retrograde. And that's that other planet that's in retrograde too. There's another one. I don't know what it is. I'm not an astrologer.
Pluto, Pluto.
So, so
Okay.
the combination is annoying.
Right. This is a cycle that we've been in for since 19, was it 1991, honey?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1991. So Alan and I split up in 1991. So we got to look at the cycles. What are the cycles? And
And that's it. It's the loop. It's the loop. Lee and I were back in the truck and talking, having intense fellowship. And I said, here we are again. We're back in the loop. We're back in the loop. We're back in the loop. And he shut up and he was like, oh, we are back in the loop. We're back in the loop. I don't want the loop. I'm done with the loop. The loop can go to hell. This is where the loop is. It's right here. This is my hell. And I don't want to be there anymore. Um, this this retrograde's bringing it all to the surface. See?
okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, turn the camera on. Do it this way. Let's see what happens.
Maybe you can stay. There it is.
Maybe.
So we wanted to come on here and give you kind of a snippet of something that we cam or but Spirit has given to Sandra. And here's what we're gonna do. We are go ahead. Can you hear me? Hello? I'll tell you what, guys. We just wanted to give you a snippet. We're gonna take a little rest, and Sandra and I are gonna come back on a little bit later, and we're gonna talk about the classes we're doing. The classes we're doing are going to be no charge, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit when we come back after we go and kick some retrograde ass is what we're gonna do. We're gonna connect and kick some retrograde ass. You there?
I'm here. I'm getting the clearing mist. I'm spraying, baby. I'm like, I'm over, over, over.
Over,
Okay.
over. So anyway, I told him we'd come back and talk about it, but since you're here, let's talk about it. So Sandra and I are going to be running some classes, um group classes, and where I'm going to hand it over to Sandra to talk about um it. Talk about it, right? You there? Okay, so that's not going to happen. So
Oh
we
my
we'll come back when everything gets calmed down, and we're going to tell you about these classes we're going to give you, and all about them. So thank you guys at least for hanging in there. This is what retrograde is like. This is real. This is retrograde at its finest, and
God. This is what it was designed to do, baby.
what it was designed to do. And if your fear is losing someone, it's gonna be right in your face. If your fear is um whatever it is, whatever it is, whatever is your deepest darkest fear is, you're facing it. And if you're not facing it yet, it's coming. You're facing it. um we just wanted to give you a little snippet, talk to you about retrograde. We will be back in another little video um next few hours. How about that? Maybe
Right?
maybe
That'll
in the
work.
morning, who knows? Could be later tonight, we don't know.
But
um
it's very important.
it's very
Get it
important.
out because this is impacting every human on this planet right now.
Mm. And
Everyone.
some of them don't even know what it is.
Right. And they're freaking out.
Freaking out. All right, guys, we'll be back and talk to you very soon. Sandra, stay here for a second if you can. Hang on. Let's see.